Welcome back to another episode of the Adventures of a Disney Dad podcast. Matt and Chip are here. We're going to be talking about all the Walt Disney World, Epic Universe, Universal updates. And then we're going to answer some of your questions, including some of the questions about the Halloween party, the Christmas party that's going to be coming up at the end of this year. Tickets for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party are on sale now as of the day of this episode coming out. So if you've got questions about the Halloween party, definitely reach out to us. We're going to do a full Halloween party prep episode later this year, like when we get a little bit closer to the first party in August. But we want to talk about it a little bit. It's weird to think about, isn't it?
Oh,
I know, right?
School, it's like I'm sure back to school signs are up in Target already, but school's ending.
So it was so weird. We had my son's kindergarten registration meeting with the kindergarten teachers yesterday, and his last day of preschool is today.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can order your school supplies and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, man, that's not even in my head yet. It's not even summer yet, give the kids time to breathe.
Today was my senior's last day, and then I've still got 2 weeks left of juniors, and but as you can see, we're in the process of moving. Got to be out of the house by the end of the week. So shout out to my wife who's been busting her butt while I'm at work. So she's doing a great job.
Yeah, and summer is right around the corner, which, I think we're all looking forward to. If you're going to Walt Disney World, enjoy that sweltering heat.
I'll be there.
Which Chip absolutely loves, and I don't. But we're going to talk a lot about it. There's a lot going on right now in the state of Florida.
For sure.
We've also got the 70th anniversary celebration that's kicking off at Disneyland on the West Coast. If you're a Disneyland person, we don't talk much about Disneyland on the show, but it is a really unique celebration. It looks really awesome. There's a lot to be made about the key. Have you seen this key that they're talking about at Disneyland?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I don't, Chip. I don't know, man. I feel like it would irritate me the same way bubble wands do. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's like $70. It's a huge key that's a foot and a half long. You can go and use it at different spots in Disneyland for the 70th anniversary celebration. And each key has one pin inside of it, right?
Yeah.
Once you activate all the different spots throughout the park, you get to open it and you get your pin. But to get all 7 pins in the collection, you'd have to have 7 different keys and get the pins that you need, which I feel like that's an expensive pin collection, Chip.
For sure. I saw it and I was like, dude, we're talking another $200 at least just to...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've started to buy some pins, but I could not get into that. And then they've got the build your own bubble wands, which are $50.
I'm surprised you haven't flown out just to get one.
I posted about those. There was a Stitch one, and that your kids are gonna want to build your own Stitch bubble wand. And speaking of all this stuff going on, Lilo and Stitch comes out this weekend.
It does come out.
Are you guys going to see it?
Probably not this weekend, but probably next week. With the move-in, we're at our in-laws for a couple weeks, so to kill some time, we'll probably do it during that week. I'll take probably the older 4.
Get out of the house a little bit. We're seeing it with the kids on Sunday.
Nice.
So this is the most excited I've been for a Disney movie in a really long time.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, my kids came back with Stitch stuffed animals the other day, and I was like, where'd you get those? So I'm like, all right, we want to go see it.
The cartoon's fine, I like it, but it just really reiterates to me that there's not been a whole lot of Disney movies to get really, really excited about in a long time.
For sure.
And I think the marketing for this one has been phenomenal, so that's going to be a lot of fun to see. As of the day we're recording, the Today Show is recording live from Epic Universe for the grand opening celebration. That is going to be tomorrow, May 22nd, the day that this episode comes out. Chip, the entries to the different portals looks incredible, where they had the characters from each different world kind of come out.
Dude.
There's celebrities all over the place. I saw
the Weasley twins with
Flitwick.
Warwick. It's Warwick Davis, I believe is his name. Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters in the
Chip,
series.
I just posted about that on Threads, and it really bothers me the more and more I think about it. The way that they're marketing the older original Harry Potter movies so much, and Battle at the Ministry is such an incredible ride, but they don't ever explain how we time travel. Like
Oh
how you
yeah.
go from 1920s Crimes of Grindelwald, theming in Paris to all of a sudden flu powder transformed into now 80 years later in the British Ministry of Magic. Like I get the flu powder, I get going from Paris to Britain, but you gotta like explain the time travel to me, which like because we spend so much time with Disney stuff, and we talk, for example, about Batu East, which is Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They refuse to ever allow any kind of like inner timeline mixing. You don't see Darth Vader walking around Galaxy's Edge.
And you won't.
And you won't. You do in Disneyland, which is like a different thing. But on the East Coast, you don't see that in Galaxy's Edge. And like I think there's something to be said for like the storytelling and all of that like it matters. And that seems like a huge like gap in the storytelling of Epic Universe.
Yeah, that's up your alley. So I wouldn't be able to tell it, but you've read all the books, you get it.
Yeah, I forgot you're not like a Harry Potter guy at all.
Listen, I wouldn't say it all. I've read 4. I've seen the majority of all of the movies. I don't know. I wouldn't say I've seen them all, but I've read 4. Actually, found 4 while we were packing. So we're gonna probably pull those out to read this summer.
So let me explain it this way for both you and for our listeners. If you're not familiar, if you go to Islands of Adventure and the old Universal Studios, the 2 older parks at Universal, you've got Hogsmeade and the Hogwarts Castle and Diagon Alley. And there's the Hogwarts Express goes back and forth between the 2.
Yeah.
So you've got King's Cross Station is there. The theming is incredible. It's wonderful. But when you go to Epic Universe, the theming is based out of the prequel books. Well, prequel movies, which is the Crimes of Grindelwald, which is when Dumbledore was younger, Newt Scamander. It's about 80 to 100 years before the Harry Potter books that we know.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is when you walk into the portal at Epic Universe and you're in the new, Paris 1920s Crimes of Grindelwald, set, you've got the different school kids walking around. There's a lot of old school wizards and witches, and it's very, very well themed. There's a lot of tie-ins to like the older parts of the history books and the movies, things like that would date back to that time period. Battle at the Ministry, the ride specifically, you go in and you go through the Flu network, which is like it transports you between places. Okay. That's where you see everybody on social media posting, the green tunnel where it flashes green. So you transport from there to the British Ministry of Magic, which puts you right in the new Harry Potter book timeline, where Dolores Umbridge, who's a teacher, you haven't read that far, but is one of the teachers, is on trial for her crimes, basically. Yeah, and that's what the ride is based on.
I know who she is.
Yeah, so like there's never any explanation as to how you go from 1920s to 2000s or whatever, late 1990s. I don't remember the specific year of the Battle of Hogwarts or whatever. Yeah. I'm not that deep into the lore of Harry Potter. But there's no explanation there. So to me, it's just a little odd. But the ride is phenomenal. They, for the first time, have not been using a virtual queue. Who knows if they're going to start to bring the virtual queue back? But that was an absolute nightmare. And we saw the wait times were over 300 minutes for that ride. I see
800 at one time, and I just thought it was a mistake. But
so I posted that it was 800 minutes because I saw the picture and I thought that it was 800 minutes, but it was actually 300 if you zoomed in on it.
Okay.
But 300 minutes is still a long time. I mean, you're still waiting almost 5 hours.
Yeah. I
would do it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
We're not doing it with kids, though.
I'm not doing it with kids. It wouldn't be worth it with my kids.
Our
kids are too young.
Now, here's the real question. Are you getting in at, say, the park closes at 9? Are you getting in there at 8:55?
I mean, 100%. If I'm not with my kids, 100%. That ride, it's the best overall attraction in any theme park I've ever been to.
Okay.
So, like, to put it into context, there's nothing at Disney, Rise of the Resistance, or anything else that comes close to that ride.
That's one thing we got to start tracking. Maybe is seeing, are they closing it at, let's say the park closes at 8. Are they closing the line at 6?
You
So they,
would you would think that they would, so that people aren't there until 2 in the morning, but who knows? But the one thing that I'll also say about that ride is the queue itself. You've seen, everybody's seen on social media how amazing like that initial queue is when you're walking into the ministry and you see the big banner and the place is enormous. It's incredible. But that's just like the first level of the queue. Once you actually go past that is where you start to actually go winding through. And there's so much stuff for you to look at and see and watch. Like you go through Professor Umbridge's office and you go through the Auror's locker room and the memorial, and like it's all so well done that I feel like, and I didn't wait 5 hours, but I feel like the time would go by a little bit faster because there's so much to do and look at,
for
right?
sure. Yeah.
Which I think helps just a little bit. But what the longest ride that I think I've ever seen is over 4 hours for Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
I don't think that outside of that, I think this is the longest wait I've ever seen. And I could be wrong, but like,
I don't know,
I mean,
how long was um Velocicoaster was pretty long too.
I think I've seen Velocicoaster at like 3 hours, but I've never seen it at this. And Hagrid's motorbike would
Yeah,
be close.
maybe that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
But and like we never had that issue with Tron or Guardians because they were always on a virtual queue that actually ran well. So that was never a problem. But Flight of Passage, I think I've seen for sure over 4 hours.
It might, yeah, for sure it has been.
Correct us if we're wrong on that. But it, certainly, like the big thing is with Epic Universe, there was a lot of downtime even last week. There was one point they refunded everybody that went to a preview because basically nothing was running that entire day. Everybody got a refund.
Huh.
So, the biggest concern is when the park officially opens tomorrow, is the testing going to be done? Are the rides going to be up? The last character meet we were waiting on was Donkey Kong. He was out yesterday and it looks
so
awesome.
cool.
Like it looks so good. So I think that like it looks like they're ramping up right. Fingers crossed, and hopefully everything runs well. There's been a lot of discussion. We've talked about it on the show, Chip. Is Epic Universe going to eat into Walt Disney World? And I think we can put that to bed. It's not at all.
No.
Would you agree with that?
I mean, dude, the thing is, how many people do we follow have already been there?
Oh, yeah. I saw somebody say that it feels like it's opened like 30 times already.
I mean, those people that want to go, they're going to go over for a day. They're not going to go over for. I would go over for a day. I'm not going to go over for a whole week right now with my kids.
I've the trips that I've been planning, it has been asked to me far more frequently, like, should we just do a Universal trip?
Wow.
And I do think it makes sense, right? Because if you're going to do one day at each of their parks, that's 3 days, and most people are doing like a 5-day vacation
5-day trip,
now.
yeah.
So it like, and I even had one client that decided to scrap Universal altogether because they couldn't do all of that and all of Disney, right? Like doing 3 parks there, 4 parks at Disney, all in like an 8-day span was just a little overwhelming. So I do think that that's becoming more of a consideration. And I do think it'll eat away, the competition will like hurt each other a little bit. But I think from what we're seeing, Epic Universe isn't like blowing Disney out of the water in like the rest of 2025 or early 2026, because all those bookings are open. At least I can speak for my business and like the data that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We're not booking Epic Universe at some crazy rate that's taking away Disney clients.
Yeah.
That's my feel of it.
Makes sense.
I do encourage people. I think like Epic Universe and Universal is 100% worth it at this point. You got to go. Like if you got little kids, How to Train Your Dragon and Super Nintendo, they're going to grow out of that the same way little girls are going to grow out of princesses.
You're not wrong. I mean, I'm thinking about doing it for next year, going over, staying DVC, and then just going over to Epic for a couple days and calling it a day.
You've got to. I mean, I'm going to be 100% encouraging you to do that. So, that's interesting. Speaking of Walt Disney World, like 2 new shows opening in a week.
Yeah.
from now. We've gotten good looks at the villains show that's coming. It looks awesome. The Little Mermaid show finally has like that building has been revamped. It's no longer a complete eyesore, and it looks incredible. I'm literally looking at the pictures on the other side of my screen of the villains show. I can't wait to see it. And Chip, like, does that impact the one thing that we're missing before I get into the impact of it? Starlight still has not got an opening date.
No, it
Starlight
has
being
not.
the nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom that's been announced.
Which
Do
is,
you think that's weird?
I think they're waiting for the, what's the one? Is it the Main Street Electrical out at Disneyland?
Paint the
Paint the
night.
Night. Paint the Night.
Yeah.
I saw Paint the Night a little bit. I watched some of the videos on that. I was hoping that they were just going to let that start and then maybe July. I'm thinking July 4th week. Maybe we might hear something. I don't know.
I don't know. I heard from a cast member friend that you and I both know that that Starlight had not started doing training runs,
Ooh,
which to me would mean that it's still at least like a month or two out.
yeah. Have they hired?
So, huh?
Have they hired cast for
They
it?
they had hired people, but they had not started to actually do like the overnight trainings where they're actually doing the parade, like the dry runs
Gotcha.
or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
they call them. So to me, that would mean that it's still a little ways out, and I think it's a little odd that we haven't seen any updates on that front. Obviously, now the Halloween party cuts into August
Yeah.
because you've got so many dates that once the Halloween party starts, you're not running the nighttime parade most likely
And they're going to be
for
training, and they're going
Starlight.
to be doing those trainings too.
Yeah, they're going to be doing the Boo to You parade on every Halloween party night. So um, it becomes more problematic. But like these new shows, does it make Hollywood studios more appealing to families, in your opinion? Like, are you more likely to want to spend a day at Hollywood studios because of these new shows
I'm
than you
more
were before?
likely to be there longer in the day, especially with my girls right now, versus they're like, yeah, we want to do Toy Story, we want to do Frozen. That's about it. They're not really into Star Wars, which it is
Hmm.
what it is, and they like Mickey's Runaway. But my wife asked me when we were out there this past summer, when are they bringing this show back? I'm like, we haven't heard anything, but we always enjoyed it. We've seen it a couple times. We really enjoyed it both times we saw it.
Yeah, you know what's odd, and I didn't think about this until I was talking to a client yesterday. There's a lot of shows at Hollywood studios.
Yeah, because something. Did they just take something away from
Well,
Disney
the Cars
Junior?
show is gone for
No, but
the villains one.
yeah, but they changed Disney Junior. They added
The
something that.
not
Okay.
yet. They changed Disney Junior at Disneyland to
Okay.
be more of like it's a different show, but it's still the same thing. They've added more characters in the courtyard to where Disney Junior is
That's
for
what
the
it is.
Cool Kids Summer Promotion, which is really neat. But when you think about it, you've got the Frozen Ever After show, the new Little Mermaid, you've got the new Villain show, you've got the Indiana Jones show, and you've got the Beauty and the Beast
Beauty and the
show.
Beast. Yeah.
So that's five shows that you could easily spend probably 45 minutes waiting and actually watching for each one of those. That's like I feel like that's a lot of time to be spending watching shows.
And as much as people hate on the Beauty and the Beast show, it is a good show.
I 100% agree. And you and I would agree we'd like having like opportunities to go and have a break and sit
Yeah.
down with your kids, especially when it's hot. But like five, I don't know that my kids would. And I forgot the Disney Junior show, so that's six
Yeah.
shows. Six shows is a lot. I mean, man, that's a lot when you really think about it.
It
And
is.
I had not thought about that.
Now, some of the positive thing is at least four of those are in air conditioning.
A
So
hundred
you,
percent, and
so you got,
that's why you do them as a parent, right? To get in and get the cool, air and whatever else. But like you got to really think you're picking like two of them for your day at Hollywood Studios. You're not going to try and do more than that, I think.
yeah, it's hard to do. Really, two's the right number. Three is, dude, I haven't seen Indiana Jones in years. And it's a great show, but it's not my kid's age yet.
Yeah. The upshot though to me is that like there's so many good shows now at Hollywood Studios that you're gonna really have to like plan your day and make sure that you're picking the right ones because I don't think it's realistic to do them all. And speaking of realistic, I had a client that reached out to me that really wanted me to ask this question and talk about it on the podcast. So we're gonna give it a shot here. They are going to Walt Disney World for 2 days.
Two
And
days.
it's one mom and her daughter that have been multiple times. They know what they're doing. They know how to rope drop. They know how to use lightning lanes. And they're taking a family of 4 with young kids, 5 and 7, I believe, that have never been before. They want to try and do 4 parks in 2 days. And my initial thought was, you're probably doing too much. What is your gut reaction when you hear 4 parks in 2 days?
Oh,
That's
um,
fair. That's fair.
that's probably my gut reaction. Like as you're asking that, I'm thinking, what parks do you match with each other? Um, Epcot and Animal Kingdom are opposite of each other, I think. So you have to put those two.
So here's the way I thought about this, Chip. Start with it backwards. You know you want to do Phantasmic one night and you know you want to do Happily Ever another night. So you know you're ending at those 2 parks,
Yeah, and that was in my
right?
head of what to do too. So yeah, I think you match. I want to say you match Epcot and Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom in the morning, and do an early afternoon through the night at Magic Kingdom. I think that's how I'm leaning. And the reason why is you can pretty much knock. Magic Kingdom has the most rides. Animal Kingdom, you can knock everything out before 10 o'clock.
I think you're crazy.
Dude, but the
If you
park
want to
opens at
do
7:30.
hold on. If it opens at 7:30, if you want to do Flight of Passage, the Safari, Everest, and the Lion King show, just those 4. No characters, no dining, no other shows, no other rides. I think you'd be lucky to get that done before like noon.
Oh, you're done at 11 o'clock with that. If you rope drop,
11 maybe. 11 maybe. But like by
because
the time I guess my point is by the time you're getting to Magic Kingdom, it's noon.
I'll put it in perspective. We rope dropped Animal Kingdom this past summer, and we got a Tiana's that day too. Our Tiana's line got called at 11:30 or whatever. So about we had ridden, whatever. Um, they did Flight of Passage. We did Everest. We did the Safari, and then we got called. And it was about 10. It was about 10:30.
So if you add in the Lion King show, you're not getting to Magic Kingdom before noon.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right with that. And I'm,
And
I'm trying to think.
that's also like you're not spending time taking a bunch of pictures, you're not spending time getting coffee, you're not spending time like you know what I mean? Like that's like just doing 4 things is a lot.
I'm trying to think if we did anything else. I want to say that's all we did. Um,
When you start to really think about it in like the amount of time that those rides take and stuff, it still takes a lot of time. And I think that's what people don't realize is that like by the time and then you add in the transportation, right? You've got to get to Magic Kingdom from Animal Kingdom after that. So give it 30 or 40 minutes, minimum. If you include the time to get through security and like get out of Animal Kingdom, it's probably an hour worth of transportation time. Like once you decide, all right, we're leaving Animal Kingdom, before you actually are walking down Main Street, it's probably at least an hour.
yeah, for sure. Because we went to Bay Lake Tower Bay Lake Tower Contemporary, and we walked over. You're right; it's about an hour.
Yeah.
Getting through security and all that. But what parks would you put together? Would you mirror together? You thinking the
I would
same
probably
thing?
do it the same way that you did. And I just think that like the way that I explained it to them is that you have this long list of things that you want to get done at each park and it's not realistic if you're
Yeah.
doing 4 parks in 2 days. Like for example, they were like we have to do Frozen, we have to do Remy's and we have to do Soarin'. And it's like okay, if you want Slinky Dog at night, let's just use the first day as an example. If you want Slinky Dog at night at Hollywood Studios when you go there, you have to book it as your lightning lanes, right?
Yeah.
Meaning you have to book all 3 of your lightning lanes at Hollywood Studios, and you can't use them at Epcot.
Yeah.
So the idea of riding both Remy's and Frozen is probably out the window because you're gonna be rope dropping one, and then you'd be waiting over an hour for the other, and you're probably waiting 45 minutes for Soarin'. So the only way that really works is if you scrap the idea of using Slinky Dog Dash and you book your lightning lanes at Epcot, and then you start booking them in the evening for Hollywood Studios, and you just plan to wait in line for Slinky Dog Dash. But no matter what, when you think about the way this plays out, and this is why it's so good to use a travel agent, by the way, because I do this so frequently that I understand how it works I can see the problems a little bit quicker than some other people might be able to, right?
Yeah.
If you start booking your lightning lanes at Epcot, you use one, then you start booking them at Hollywood Studios, no matter what, you're going to end up waiting in line for something.
For sure.
Because like I said, you're not getting Slinky Dog, or maybe you don't get Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway or whatever. And then like your day is shot because you basically have until 7:30, 8 o'clock to get to Fantasmic. So, how much are you going to really realistically be able to get done if you leave Epcot at noon or you leave Animal Kingdom at noon to go to Magic Kingdom? How much are you really going to get done in the next, 8 hours?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a lot harder than people think it is. Really.
And personally, in my mind, you scrap one and you do Magic Kingdom one whole day, and you could do two of the other three. That's how I would do it. But I don't know what two of the three you would pick. I probably don't pick Animal Kingdom, but then you also rattle off all the rides, and I'm like, well, maybe I do go to Animal Kingdom and I scrap Epcot. But I love Epcot, and it's.
This is how people get in that dynamic of skipping Animal Kingdom on their vacation, which is like, to me, it's just really frustrating. I think that the only way you can realistically do 4 parks in 2 days is if you like significantly lower what you want to do at each park.
Yeah.
Because it just, otherwise it doesn't work. And the same thing goes for Magic Kingdom with MultiPass. If you were to buy MultiPass and you don't use it at Animal Kingdom in the morning, you're not using your first lightning lanes until 2 o'clock, for example, you have to wait in line at Animal Kingdom, and you're risking a hour and a half wait for the safari. If you book the lightning lanes at Animal Kingdom, then you're going to use them immediately, and you're going to get through everything that you want pretty quickly. But then by the time you get to Magic Kingdom, Peter Pan's flight's probably gone completely, and what? I don't know that there's like a ton left there that you want them for, because you're buying individual lightning lane for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and for Tron. So like, yeah. I just feel like you're not getting your money's worth on MultiPass at that point. So I think planning a trip like that where you want to do so much and you have such little time,
we haven't even put the factor in, Matt. We're dealing with kids that are 5 and 7.
One's doing Bibbidi Boppidi Boutique too.
2 days, man, dude. You're gonna hit the wall about noon on that second day, and it's gonna be like, all right, let's.
Yeah,
if you said 2 days over, like 2 park days over 3 days, okay, I'm with you. You can take a rest day.
And I think, like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or like pour water on people's trips or whatever, but I do think that like people need kind of that to be brought back to reality on how much that they can get done on some of these trips. Because they think, and she specifically, and this is one of my favorite clients, she's like, I know how to rope drop Hollywood Studios. I'm so good at it. I know all the ins and outs. And it's like, that's great. And I'm like, I'm seriously, I think you're going to have a great time, but your list of things that you're going to do, even if everything goes right, is not real. It's still not realistic.
I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, that doesn't sound fun. And you and I, we've done 4,
sound fun.
We've done 4 parks in a day, and that day.
I've done 4 parks and Disney Springs in a day.
Yeah. Well, I flew in and did 4 parks in a day on the one day.
Yeah.
And we didn't start a park. I didn't get to the park till 1 o'clock. 16 miles that day.
We also like barely rode anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's different. And she also threw out the idea of doing Animal Kingdom, Rope Drop, then going to Epcot, and then going to Hollywood Studios. And I'm like, 3 parks in one day with 3 little kids is just like, it's just insane to me. And at that point, it's like I just feel like you have to bite the bullet and spend the money to stay an extra day if you want to try and and do all that.
Or
And
try and get what's the super duper multi pass?
Premier Pass, like,
Yeah,
but that's crazy. Spending $500, like, or $400, whatever.
it's extra two grand.
You'd be better off, like, at that point, do the VIP tour and do all 4 parks in a day. Then you could really do it.
Yeah.
But speaking of savings, I saw today, Chip, there are still $99 a night rooms for the week of July 13th. How crazy is that? You can go to Walt Disney World for $99 a night without your tickets, and the ticket deals are pretty good because kids are 50% off.
You said that, so I kind of look at DVC to see like what the week we're going. I could readjust and essentially go to Beach Club. I could go to Riviera. I could go to all these different, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, there's a bunch of cabins, so maybe we'll get upgraded to a cabin. If we do, I'll give you a call. Matt'll be on the next flight out of Chicago to come stay a night in the cabin.
Yes, I'll come stay a night in your cabin, Chip, 100%. That's going to wrap it up this week. If you could take a moment to like, rate, and review the podcast on whatever platform you prefer, it means a lot to Chip and I. We're looking forward to coming back next week. We've got some guests lined up over the next coming weeks. We hope you enjoyed our episode with the Dapper Danielle. We had a lot of fun with that one. Her book is out now, so be able to make sure you check it out. I love Disney's Magic Kingdom. And I think that's it, Chip. I think we'll see him in the parks, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see him. We'll see you when we see you.